Start some greens with me. Hi everybody and welcome back to Kim's Cozy Corner. It is time for us to plant a few more things and we are going to focus on different types of greens today. Hi everyone, my name is Kim and today is February 20th, I believe it is. Yes, today is February 20th, and I've decided I want to go ahead and start a few more greens. I lost my pen somewhere, but in my garden journal right here, in this journal, I have a list of all the different vegetables that I plan on starting this year. There's a link to the garden journal below that I use. It's my journal that I created for me. And in here, I said by the end of this month, there's quite a few things that I need to get started. I am in zone 6B, and don't let your zone and when your last frost date get you mixed up. Your zones tell you what your average temperatures are. But that doesn't necessarily mean when your first and your last frost are going to be. So based on my zip code and where I live, and you can Google it and find out when your last frost date's going to be. But my last frost date should be about the last week of April. Based on that and all of the different things that I'm trying to start this year, I need to be planning a few things by the end of this month. And it's actually quite a lot. So between my kales, my collards, my mustard greens, what else do I got to do by the end of the month? By the end of the month, I need to do rosemary, parsley, oregano, kale, collards. I need to start my peppers by the end of the month. And then by the first week of next month, I need to start some flowers. Basil needs to be started. What else? A lot of different things need to be started now or within the next couple of weeks. And I can't start all of that at the same time. And I'm all caught up on uppotting all of my other cool season crops that I've already started from seeds. They've grown, they got true leaves. I've uppotted them into the final home that they're going to be in until I take them outside. So I'm going to go ahead and get a jump start on some of those other things. One of the things that we're going to start today are my greens. So before I get into the greens, I wanted to give you an update on my onions first. So let's talk about onions first. I started onion. Some of them didn't come up. So I decided I'm going to plant some more onion to make up the difference for the ones that didn't come up. Of those, this is what I have. Most of what I planted gave me something. The only thing that didn't give me nothing at all was Globo. This is what Globo looks like. I got nothing. My seed pack's empty. I don't have any more. I'm going to hold on to this. Now, these seeds are several years old. They were actually packaged for the 2024 season. I'm in the 2025 season, and not one seed germinated. So I did get some last year. I'm just not getting any this year. So we're going to put this one to the side. I also had some of these yellow sweet Spanish onion right here. They didn't come up, so I've replaced them with something else. This one right here gave me 4 onion. That's it. That's all it gave me the second time around. So guess what? I emptied the whole pack into this cell right here, and hopefully I'll pick up a couple more onion. I don't know if I will or not, but I'm going to try. And then I went ahead and started 2 more. I started another container of red burgundy, since these are not doing well. And I started some more white Spanish onion. I found that the white Spanish onion are holding up much better in storage than anything else that I have. The white Spanish onion are sweet onion, and I prefer sweet onion. And so I probably need a few more white Spanish onion so that it can carry me over next year before it's time to plant out again. I am still using onion from last year's garden. I'm not buying any. I only grew just under 30 pounds of onion for the year. Here's the actual number right here of onion that I grew for last year. I'm still using off of those onion. I am not purchasing. And so I need to make sure that I get as many as possible. And so I added a few more just to let you know. I added 2 more, and I'm trying to put some more seeds in some of these. Now I have a whole nother tray over there that's doing amazing, but wanted to give you an onion update. Now that I've given you an onion update, if you don't have your onion in the ground by now, if your seeds by now, it might be too late to start from seed. I don't know. It depends on where you live. So you just need to check in on that. What we're going to focus on today, for my last frost date being the end of April, which means that I can put these greens outside in my outdoor grow space probably early April, about 4 weeks before the end of the year. So that's the plan. And I usually start these greens from seed, but y'all, I want an earlier harvest. And so we are going to start these from seeds and take them outdoors as transplants. So what I'm going to start today, let's start with the collard greens. I am going to start 4 different types of collard greens first. So I am going to start champion collard greens. And y'all, I want y'all to know this is my favorite now. It's my favorite now. It wasn't my favorite before, but I am loving these champion collard greens. They melted in my mouth from my indoor grow space that I'm growing through the winter here, and they were just so good and so tender and so flavorful. So here's champion. I'm also going to grow vats, and I hear the vat or the champion is it came from the vat. So everyone's telling me I'm going to love this one. My all-time favorite though is Morris Heading collard greens. Here's a picture of the Morris Heading collard greens, and here's my little seed pack. Hopefully they do well for me. Now these are kind of old. They were packaged for 2021, so hopefully they come up. And the last collard green is going to be the Georgia Southern collard greens. Not my favorite. I think they're too thick, but I'll still grow some because some of my family prefer this over the others. So those are the 4 different collard greens I'm going to start. I'm also going to start 2 different types of kale. I'm going to do the blue curled Scotch kale. I'm going to do that one. And just some dwarf blue curly kale. Those are the 2 kales. And then I'm going to go ahead and start mustard. Mustard is one of the greens I have the hardest time getting to grow without going to seed. So I believe I'm planting it, one, in the wrong location and maybe a little too late outdoors to start from seed. Cool season crop. It doesn't like all that heat. So by me putting transplants in this year, I'm hoping I'll get a better mustard harvest. So I'm going to be doing this one today. Tatsoi, or I can't pronounce it. It says it tastes like celery, but everyone else is telling me that's not true. So we're going to start that one. My Old Faithful, which is the giant curled mustard. We're going to start both of those today. Now this one I am not going to start today, but my Chinese giant leaf mustard. I'm not going to start this one today because one of the things that I always tell you is look at your seed pack and follow the directions on your seed pack. And my seed pack says it's tolerant of heat and frost, but best planted in cool spring or fall conditions. And it says sow in place. This doesn't tell me that I is good at transplanting. It says sow it in place. So we're not going to start this one. We will start this one from seeds when I'm transplanting the others out into the garden. And that's it. Those are the ones we're going to start right now. So just some collards, some mustard, and some kale. All cool season crops that we're going to start today. And they're cool season, so I need to have these in the ground in about a month. And so in order to do that, I want nice, healthy plants that's going to be able to survive a couple chilly nights. I'm somewhat in a hurry, so I've already done my little trays that I'm going to start them in. Each plant only gets 1 cell, so I have 8 cells. I got my labels already made up. My soil's a little dry because I Was ready to do this a couple of days ago and didn't get to it. I am using a seed starting mix. I'm using Jiffy. My Jiffy seed starting mix is right here. I take that Jiffy, I put it in my bucket right here, and I pour boiling hot water over it. After I pour that boiling hot water over it, I give it a good mix just like this, trying to kill off any larva, eggs, fungus gnats, anything like that that might be hibernating in the soil. And once I've done that, then I take the soil and I put it in my little seed starting cells. That's how I prepared it. I put the soil in, I pushed it down, I put another layer of soil in. That's the process. That's how I got to these 4 cells. Let me put the date in the book that I'm starting these today. All right, so we got kale being started on 220. I'm only 8 days early. Collards, 220. Kale, collards, where's my mustard? Mustard, 220. That's all I'm starting today, those 3 things. So I updated my little seed starting journal here, which tells me when I'm starting things. How deep am I planting these? I am planting these 1/4 of an inch deep. And next year, I'm going to put that column in here, but I'm going to put 1/4 inch on here just so I know. So I never have to look at that pack again. I know 1/4 inch is what I'm going to be doing. My journal's updated. Now it's just time for me to get these seeds in. And all of them are going, and all of these seeds look alike. I'm just going to be honest, they all look alike. So if you don't label, you're going to get mixed up. They will be mixed up. So these are kale, and I don't need that much kale. My kale will go into my GreenStalks. That's still a lot of kale, y'all. I can't do no with that much kale. Let me be realistic. I know I don't have that many spots for that much kale. All right. I am doing a high density planting of these kale seeds. So I'm putting all of the seeds in one cell. Once they germinate, then I will separate them into individual cells. We're going to do the same thing with this Scotch kale. Oh, these seeds are just a little lighter. Same shape, but a little lighter in color. So I'm going to put all my seeds in and then I'll come back and get them down to 1/4 of an inch. Now we're going to put the rest of these in. Once I get them all in the cells, we'll talk about how we're going to get them down to that 1/4 inch next. I get to save so much room in my growing space, my seed starting stations, by using this process. Since my Morris heading collards are a little older than everything else, I'm going to plant a few more seeds just in case I get poor germination. And every time I do this, y'all, I always get every seed to germinate, and then I got way too many plants. But that's okay. It's my favorite. We'll make it work. Ooh, these are tiny compared to all the other seeds. Well, I spilled them onto the floor. The pack turned upside down, y'all. I'm glad it wasn't my Morris heading collard greens, because I would have been so upset. All right, I got it up as best I could. Let's start again. So I got them all in there. This soil is so dry, I tell you. Actually, I should have stirred them up first. Stir them up, then press them down. Whew, y'all, it's been a long day. I'm doing everything out of order. Travel's getting ready to pick back up again for me. So I wanted to get as much done now so I don't have so much to do later. Now, since I did this so many days ago, I am going to put just a little soil on top. I know every time I do this, I do something a little different, and I want to explain the why I do it different. My soil is so dry, and my cells are not full. So I'm going to add just a little bit on top. That way I know I'm at least a 1/4 inch deep. And now I got enough soil in my cells. So they needed to be a 1/4 inch deep. We did that. The next thing that I like to do is give them a spray. Anytime I'm starting seeds, I like to spray the top of each one of my cells. I only do it on seeds. I'll do it in my GreenStalks. I'll do it in containers. I'll do it in my seed starting cells. Spray on top. And then I'm going to water from the bottom. So I got some water here. We're going to pour some water in the tray. And these little cells are going to soak up all of that water that I just put in the tray. And we will be watering from the bottom from everything else that we do while these are in their little homes here. And I'm going to add this to the seed starting station. I'm going to pull the light down nice and close until they germinate. And hopefully we will, let's see, germination is 4 to 10 days on that one. Let's see what they're saying on some of the other ones. 5 to 10 days, 5 to 10, 5 to 10, 4 to 10, 7 to 10. Okay. We get an idea of how long it's going to take to germinate. So these can go anywhere from just under a week to a week and a half to germinate. And with all the travel I got coming, they should be done germinated by the time I get back from my trip. But that's the process. We know the germination, we're going to get that light on it, and that's it for the greens. We got one more item checked off in our little book here. And so if you're following with me, after the greens, the next big one that we're going to be doing seed starting on will be some flowers and some peppers. I hope you enjoyed starting your greens with me. We got them started, we got them ready to go, and we will get these on the shelf. If you enjoyed the video, consider subscribing to my channel, and please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. We will keep starting every week until it's time for us to get outside. Until next time, and as I always say, I hope there will be a next time that you hang out at Kim's Cozy Corner with me. Bye, everybody.